It's Rob Carbone, and you're listening to BD4.
Here's Barrett from shake and bake. Hits a three. Stands eyes in the crowd with Barrett. 5 on the 24. Barrett previously in the air ball. The drive, the land. Banks it home. Gets it back, keeps it out. Barrett for three. RJ Barrett from downtown. Quick trigger three. Gets another triple. Looking for more. Into the buzzer. Now it's gone. Smith from way downtown at the buzzer. No good open look. Puts it in. They're on their feet at Madison Square Garden. Elliott to Ewing. That'll make the Garden war.
Patrick Ewing faced a double team, but still was able to hit.
Finish. And the foul. East ducks under. Got it. 8 tenths left.
What is going on, guys? This is Rob Carbone coming at you with another episode of BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everybody is staying safe. Hope everybody is staying healthy and hanging in there, right? As best as we can during these times. Not much has gone on since our last episode. About a week ago, we did an episode on the Yankees and, how baseball is going to give this a go and try and return or try and start up. They're planning on doing so, starting July 1st. They're going to do a second round of spring training, I guess, and then start up the regular season at the end of July. So we'll see how that goes, but in terms of the New York Knicks, the wonderful, amazing New York Knicks, still not much going on there. Still hearing some rumblings when it comes to the head coaching vacancy. We're hearing a lot of names. I believe we're up to like 10 candidates by now. The more recent candidates, Mike Woodson was a couple of weeks ago. But we've just recently, even more recently, we've heard about Jason Kidd. Somebody else I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. There's been a lot. So, I know the heavy favorites seems to be Tom Thibodeau. And then Kenny Atkinson as well is someone who a lot of Knicks fans adore. So we'll see what happens there. But that's actually not what we're hitting on tonight. Allonzo Trier has been waived. And, not that Allonzo Trier was going to be your next all-star, perennial all-star or anything like that. But he was a good player. He was a good player on the New York Knicks. And, the Knicks are a team who have struggled to find talent at all over the last several years, decades. But so it's frustrating to see them just waive. They waived Allonzo Trier, and I know they picked up some kid who, I don't know, some fans might be excited for, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Theo Pinson? Goes to show how much I know about him. I don't know anything. I don't know who this kid is. I don't know if this kid is legit by any means. I know he had all I know is he was pretty good in the G League. And then, he was kind of a fan favorite in Brooklyn. I guess because of his, happy attitude or whatever as well. That's what I've been told. But I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed in this Allonzo Trier news. And I think many Knicks fans are disappointed in this. This is one of the very few. The Knicks don't have much young talent to begin with. And this was one of those young prospects they had in their organization that, he could have been an undrafted gem, really. He came up and really performed in his rookie season. They gave him a 2-way contract and he really, really turned heads. And they ended up signing him to a 2-year deal because of that, his first handful of games in his rookie season. And he kept that up, sustained it throughout all the 2019 season and then throughout the entire 2020 season when he did get playing time. But that was the thing. That's what frustrated all of us. After performing so well, Trier in his rookie season where he dropped, just under a dozen points a night in 22 minutes per game, just dropping buckets out there and just becoming instant offense off the bench, being that microwave scorer. The Knicks just, for whatever reason, they reduced his role this past season, and they didn't play him as much. When they did play him, it wasn't for as long as fans wanted him on the floor. Now the for some reason there are some excuses out there, mainly generated by the organization, that says, well, we didn't play Trier because we signed all these free agents. We signed Elfrid Payton, who's a guard. We signed Wayne Ellington, a guard. We signed Bobby Portis, who's a scoring player. We signed Julius Randle for the forward spot to give him the ball a lot. We signed all these players in free agency. It's kind of hard to play Allonzo Trier. First of all, I call bullshit on that. Wayne Ellington was terrible for the Knicks. You're going to tell me that 55-year-old Wayne Ellington, who has no future here, obviously, who is, peaked in terms of his talent level, who is not part of this rebuild plan, should be getting minutes over somebody like Allonzo Trier, who is a young kid who has produced every time he's been given the ball. Why is he getting minutes over Trier? Why? And then there's another reason people are saying, oh, because he doesn't have great court vision. He has terrible defense, which those both are very true. His defense is, Kevin Knox level bad at times, and his court vision is not good. That said, despite that, his scoring is so efficient and so productive that his overall impact on the game is still more positive than one of a Wayne Ellington, is still more positive than one of a fucking Elfrid Payton, is still more of a positive impact than someone like Bobby Portis. He still makes more impact than a lot of other guys that the Knicks just ran out there day after day. So that didn't make sense. There's no logic. There's no excuse you can come up with that would make any kind of sense in as to why the Knicks sat Trier as often as they did. So I saw it coming. I did. He's a free agent. I either thought this was going to happen or they were just going to let him walk. And here we are. We're talking about the Knicks waiving one of their better young prospects in Allonzo Trier. And again, he's not this guy who I see as an all-star, but we'll talk about what I think his ceiling could be and potentially will be with another team as soon as we get back from break. Be right back. Hey fellas, really quick before we continue with the show, I just want to remind you, if you haven't yet subscribed to BD4, be sure to do so right now. Just go to nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com/connect. So, I mean, it's not like he was going to be this superstar for the Knicks. It's not like he was going to be a perennial all-star. But again, on a team that lacks talent overall, just to begin with, it makes you question why they cut Trier. Why would you get rid of somebody who was a positive impact more than a lot of other people, at least? And so this is somebody who I really think, now that he's away from this colossal screw-up that is the New York Knicks, maybe he'll fit better in another system and get the best. Somebody else gets the best of his talents and really raises his ceiling, because I think he's got that talent to where, Allonzo Trier could eventually win or just be a perennial candidate for sixth man of the year, right? I think he's an excellent scorer, has just a tremendous knack at scoring off the bounce, right? Great at scoring in the mid-range area off the dribble, good at catching the ball off a screen and then dribbling to the rim or driving and attacking the rim and drawing, generating contact and drawing free throw attempts and fouls and stuff like that. He's also very great at that. And he converts at the line. He's got a lot of and ones under his belt already. A decent 3-point shooter, though he doesn't take it at a high volume. Just a good overall crafty scoring player with a lot of good, shifty type of moves. And he kind of reminds me of a sixth man version of a Devin Booker, right? Somebody who does those, just a pure bucket getter, somebody who walks and gets buckets, just collects points every time he steps on the floor. You're getting instant offense. So that's very similar in that aspect. Lou Williams, I've heard that comparison too. Again, very similar too in terms of scoring off the bounce and becoming a six-man candidate. So I don't know, man. It sucks to see somebody like him just be waived like that from the Knicks. It doesn't make sense to me. Now I have to read up, of course, before I, give a complete opinion on this. I really have to do some more research on this guy they got, the guy they picked up after waiving Trier, and Theo Pinson. Again, I hope I said that correctly, but I know nothing about this kid other than he had a pretty productive stat line in the G League this past season. So I don't know. We'll see. Now Damian Dotson is also a free agent for the Knicks, so that's still yet to be determined to see what they do with him. Now I'm hoping they don't fucking do anything stupid there, because I actually like Damian Dotson a little more than I like Allonzo Trier. I think Damian Dotson may not have that excitement, but I think he'll contribute to winning, at least more than Allonzo Trier will. I think Dotson is a good, spot up shooter, but he's also a decent shooter off the bounce. Can come off the bench and be that 3-and-D guy, right? Also has a nice mid-range game, and he's got some speed to where he can slash here and there too. So Dotson was probably the Knicks' best perimeter defender this past season outside of Frank. So I would like to see them, retain him. Somebody who I think could come off the bench, give the Knicks a little scoring, 10 points, 9 points, 11 points, something like that, and shoot the ball well. So it sucks, man, to see Trier go like this, but it's so Knicks. It's very much Knicks. So I don't know what else I have for this one, man. It's very disappointing to see it happen. But we're used to it, right? We're used to disappointment here in Manhattan. So let's get to let's just cut this one short. Let's get to the NYK question of the day, and then we'll wrap this one up. All right. All right, so last time out we asked you, it was a Yankees question since it was a Yankees episode. So we asked you on the show last time, we said, what was the Yankees 2009 postseason batting average? Told you to message me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or comment on any of the posts that I publish for the podcast. And the answer to that question, the Yankees 2009 postseason batting average, it was 257, which ranked second amongst all postseason teams and first in the American League. 257 was the answer to that. Now, tonight's NYK question of the day. Obviously, it's going to be a Knicks question since we are doing the Knicks tonight. Let's open it up. Sorry, I should have had it up already, but let's get to it. Tonight's NYK question of the day. This past season, who led the Knicks in total three-pointers made? So this past season, who led the New York Knicks in total three-pointers made? Again, message me or comment on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and let me know the answer, and I'll give you a shout out. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I think this is it. Really, there's not much else to say. Just my quick reaction to the Knicks waiving Allonzo Trier and being so typical Knicks. So episode 139 in the books. This is your host, Rob Carbone, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Ciao.